Welcome to the Ripple Podcast.
The podcast where we tell you stories about strange and unusual things.
And the ripples they create.
AKA the story after the story.
I'm Rosa.
And I'm Angela.
And this is the Ripple Podcast.
Get Ripple, the bright new drink with that ring-a-ding flavor, Ripple.
Okay, so we're here and we're changing our format.
A little bit.
Slightly.
Yeah, it'll be better this way.
I think so too. We can devote a little more time.
Get a little bit more in depth.
And not have to look at the timer and freak out once we hit the hour mark.
Yep.
So what we're doing is we are going to take turns telling each other stories.
Alternating weeks.
So tonight I'm going, and next week Angela will go. So if you hate one of our voices, it's not going to matter because we sound the same. So
yeah, you can't exactly cherry pick that. You won't be able to tell the difference, but we're equally mediocre. So
we're kind of okay.
Yeah.
But
and it'll be a lot less homework.
Right.
Well, I don't know. I mean, you can do a little bit more research because you'll have a little bit more.
An extra week to spend on it.
Kind of.
It's kind of like getting an extension on a research report.
In a way, sort of. But yeah, it'll be good. I think it's going to turn out great, and this will be the new way to do it. And
I'm excited about this way.
Because now I can actually ask questions, because sometimes I'm like, ooh, I want to know more about that. And then I look at the clock, I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this will be a little bit more interactive,
I think so.
Conversational.
I like it. I'm excited.
Yes. I'm excited too.
All right.
Do you want any
go ahead.
weekly updates before we get going?
I need to get a drink before we get going.
Okay.
But here, talk to me while I take a sip.
Oh, shoot. I guess I got to tell you about my week. What did I do? I went shopping for the first time.
I did too.
For the first time since quarantine, I went shopping for non-essential items.
I went into a Target.
I have yet to do that because I've only been to Target maybe twice since quarantine started, and both times it was only like the grocery section because everything else was closed off because it's apparently not essential, and it was kind of depressing. But yeah, now it's all open again. That's super exciting.
Where'd you go?
I went to Goodwill.
Oh,
the most.
Did you find a crying boy picture?
Oh, I didn't even look. It was such a quick trip.
That's
it wasn't
the only
even
thing
planned.
that you need to find.
Okay, I'll have to do that again because I want to go back because I'm super, super excited to go thrifting now that things are opened up, because I know so many people did like a ton of spring cleaning and there's going to be all kinds of gems to search for. At the same time, it's probably the most contaminated place where everybody has touched everything and you have no idea where any item is coming from. But you know, that's part of the excitement, right?
You know, it just makes it a little bit more like a game that way.
Yeah. So did you have a fun time at Target?
I mean, I definitely didn't browse like I used to.
That's what Target's for.
I had my mom with me.
Oh.
Explains the speeding up of Target because she doesn't do anything shopping wise. Mm-hmm. And I also had a 6-year-old with me who loves Target. But no, I mainly went to go find a boogie board was what I was looking for. Apparently Target doesn't carry boogie boards.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'm surprised, actually.
But yeah, we've been spending a lot of time at the beach.
Nice.
So I found one finally. And it's super cool. It's got like this. I've never seen a boogie board like this before. It's got like a big cutout towards the top of it.
What?
And it's like plexiglass.
Oh.
So you can like float around and like look at what's under you.
Sharks.
Or fish or dolphins or
jellyfish.
Yeah. It was, I don't know. It's kind of cool.
That is.
So, yeah, that was my big adventure.
I feel like we don't really live in an area where you can really see through the water that well.
No. So I was out at Kitty Beach a couple days ago. Ventura, right by the harbor.
Oh, okay. So it's not quite as rough over there.
It's not. There's hardly any waves. That's why they call it, Kitty Beach.
I think kitty, it's like for kids.
Right. Not like meow. Meow. It was more like,
yeah, I guess cats. Oh, God.
Sorry if I just blew your eardrums.
Remind me never to go there.
But there was hundreds and hundreds of sand sharks just swimming around.
Oh, those
it was
are fun.
so cool. So yeah, that was fun. Getting to swim with all of those and see all those. So yeah,
Cool.
that was my exciting
Yeah.
time.
That's fun.
So today, we are drinking quite an array of
It
stuff.
seems to happen when we record podcasts.
We have some Jack Daniel's Southern Peach.
It has nothing to do with this topic whatsoever.
I brought Aviator the Rocks cocktail. It's like a pre-mixed margarita. It's jalapeno pineapple. Wait, did I say margarita? Is that that's what I meant to say.
Oh.
I don't know if that's what I said or not, but it's a jalapeno pineapple margarita.
So is it made out of gin, though?
No, it's tequila.
Oh, I didn't realize Aviator had tequila. I thought they were only gin. Okay.
But I was comparing it to last week's drink, the jalapeno drink I made.
Oh.
So I was like, oh, this is a pre-done one.
Okay.
I went to Whole Foods and...
So it was just for the comparison, not for the theme.
Nothing to do with my story whatsoever.
I'm never going to complain about a spicy margarita.
Mm-hmm.
I picked up a last minute theme because I forgot that I'm supposed to bring the drink when you do the story. So this is the closest thing I could find to kind of go along with your subject, Boochcraft.
Okay, so how hard was that? Looking for like a spirity, spooky, communicating with the dead type drink?
Yeah, I don't know because I don't know not much about it. So I guess like anything with maybe ghost in the title or something like that.
Apparently they're only sold around Halloween because I know
so.
a whole bunch, and I went up and down the alcohol aisles, maybe because I was only at Whole Foods, but I could not find anything.
I had a hard time, and I'm like, well, is witchcraft really part of that subject? Because what was the actual title of your paranormal investigating tools?
Mm-hmm.
So witchcraft isn't really, I mean, it's kind of its own thing, not necessarily related to that.
No.
But that was the closest connection I could get
I'll
to.
give it to you.
But Boochcraft is delicious. I have been on a hard sorry.
Ooh, lemon maple.
Bumped the microphone again. But yeah, it's I've been so on the hard booch train lately.
You can't go wrong with that.
But yeah, this is a lemon maple flavor. It's organic hard kombucha. It's probiotic, plant-based, and gluten-free.
So it's totally good for you.
Pretty much. It's pretty much just like drinking vitamins at this point, right?
Sure, let's call it that.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to tell you a story.
Okay, let's get to it.
So I am going to give you my sources. So we have ghostadventures.fandom.com, vice.com. I've been going to Vice almost every time. Maybe because I've been searching it, it comes up on the top of my Google searches recently.
Oh, yeah. It kind of caters to that.
I feel like every single time, Vice.
And you're still doing the .com every time.
Every time I'm doing it. I dropped the www dot.
Isn't it weird? This is totally like a stoner thought, even though I am very much not a stoner. But www takes longer to say than World Wide Web.
Oh.
It's more syllables. Think about that.
That is a stoner thought.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I like it. All right. So then we have PTI. Actually, let's just say it like this because this is more fun. PTITN. It's PTITN.com. Backpackreserve.com.
Backpack.
And
Backpack.
theatlantic.com. Those are my sources. No Wikipedia this week.
Oh, wow.
Can you stand it?
This is weird.
I know. You're telling me. So I'm going to start out by first turning my phone on, which I know stresses you out to no end. Because my alarm's going to go off in 45 minutes. But I found this really cool app that has amazing reviews. And it's like the number one app to communicate with the dead.
Wait, what? So through an app?
Through an app. So I paid my $1.99.
Oh, geez.
For the app called Spirit Box. And it's just going to sit here.
Spirit Box is an app?
Yes.
It's just going to sit here and listen to our podcast?
And we can talk to it, and it's going to randomly, as it catches on with stuff, it's going to spit out a word.
I think that it's going to push the spirits all the way to the other side.
Okay.
Because they're not going to want to listen to our podcast.
You can't make the spirits angry.
You have to be kind to the spirits.
Yeah.
You can't make them angry, meaning like don't make them angry, or you, as much as you try, you are not going to make them
Don't
angry.
antagonize them.
Oh, that's no fun.
Oh, well, they're not going home with you. So it's going to stay here. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about it when I get to a certain part of my story and then show you what happened.
Okay.
So it's on. You see it?
Yeah. What's that floating green blob?
I call it the orb.
What is it though?
It's the reader.
Okay.
It's right now. It's just really quiet. There's nothing around right now.
So it's going to, if it wants to talk to us, it's just going to go ahead and interrupt and interject.
It's just going to spit a word or a phrase out.
Okay.
Uh-huh. And we record in our brother's office, and he said that it's haunted in here. He said that things have happened.
Raccoons.
Well, it's quite possible, but we're going to see. So that's going to sit right there.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm going to obviously tell you a little bit about spirit boxes. And a spirit box is an ITC device, which is short for Instrumental Transcommunication.
Okay.
So the first spirit box model was developed in 2002 by this guy named Frank Sumption.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't know if you remember, but way back when I did the Ghostbusters episode, remember that was one of the kind of tools that they were trying to make was a spirit box.
Well, they, I mean, a Ouija board technically can be considered a spirit box because it's kind of a way to communicate.
Oh.
And obviously Ouija boards have been around forever.
But yeah,
So-
they were trying to work on like a digital type. I don't know. I guess it wouldn't be digital. It was like a radio transmission.
Well, and that's how they communicate
is via radio.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So this Frank guy, he was a paranormal investigator, and he believed that spirits could manipulate the sounds coming over the airwaves as like a way to communicate with the living. So spirit boxes, they're like audio only, so you're not gonna like visually see the spirit coming at you. And
I would hope not.
oh, I would. I think that'd be so cool. And so what it's doing is like, depending on which kind you have, obviously, but what the most common ones do, they scan through radio frequencies, and it can be like AM or FM, and it's going through like that white noise, you know, that
got it.
The radios do when there's not like music
When
playing.
it's kind of like scanning.
Right, exactly.
Gotcha.
So if you're like driving to Vegas, there's that one long stretch where there's just nothing to listen to. So you're listening to that. And what they say is that ghosts...
Static, I think is what they call it.
Oh, yeah, that would probably be a way better word than...
We got it.
Okay. They say that ghosts can manipulate these auto frequencies, making communication with them easier. So kind of like a Ouija board, like I was saying, but it's way more high tech. And you also don't have to worry about like your friend pushing it around to spell out certain words.
I might be that person that likes to push it around and spell certain
things.
things.
Is there anyone here? Zoom, all the way to yes.
Did it say something?
It totally did. Oh, it said pants.
Oh.
Good. Okay. So
okay.
There's our first word so
Pants.
far. Pants.
Wait, does it type it on the thing when
it types it, and it says it verbally, and then you can look at the history to see when you're done. Because usually it takes, they say, around 20 to 30 minutes to get a good, enough words.
To spell out something. Okay, so we'll see.
So there's pants so far.
All right. What could that mean?
So if you're reading through reviews on Amazon about like spirit boxes,
because that's the place to go.
Well, that's where I buy like all my stuff. You can actually learn some tricks like how to communicate better with the ITC devices.
Okay.
And according to some of the reviews,
it keeps talking to us.
Oh, and did you see this go off? Did you see that?
They both went off at the same time. Let's see. Okay, you got to tell our listeners, what is this other thing that you have on the table?
Okay, so I haven't got there yet, but I also have
oh, geez, it's going like crazy.
Electromagnetic field tester here that I did get on Amazon because of the reviews. And I have them sitting right next to each other, and that just went off too.
They both went off at the same time.
Yeah, that was kind of cool. And so this word is inventive.
pants. Inventive. Maybe it's because we're both wearing short shorts today, and this might be like some spirit from back in the 20s, and they're like,
put some clothes on, girls.
Seriously, you whores.
Whores. So back to the Amazon tricks.
Yeah, maybe we should just ignore it for now.
Okay, we can try.
We might piss it off if we ignore it, but we'll get to a point later on where we can like figure out, put all of our words
go
together.
Through it, yeah.
Okay.
There's no like best time of day. So you don't need to be like doing it late at night when it's spooky and dark and you can only use candles to see. You can do it like right now, like when it's daytime. And it's also best to use headphones because there's so many like outside distractions. So if it's scanning and you hear something, you'll hear it directly rather than.
That seems way spookier.
With the headphones?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're talking like directly into your head.
Mm-hmm.
It's also recommended to remain silent. So
Rosa's out.
She doesn't shut up. You ask it a question and then just be quiet and wait and listen.
Oh, jeez.
So you shouldn't be like side chatter, which is just being rude anyways. And then it also says that some responses can actually be difficult to hear without like going back and listening. And there's sometimes auto editing that needs to take place, which I feel like is kind of cheating in a way.
Yeah, I agree.
Because you don't want to manipulate the sounds. But I guess if you're taking out like the static and only pulling in the verbal.
That's my problem with like a lot of the ghost hunter shows and stuff where they'll record and record and record. Oops. And it'll be a bunch of static. And then they'll go back and they're like, wait, but if we make this adjustment and then we slow it down and then we speed it up again and like do all this stuff, I'm like, yeah, you could probably create just about anything if you change it up
the right way. Mm-hmm. And that's how what they say in here too. So when you're using a spirit box, you only hear the static white noise of the radio frequencies until that response is given. And then when it's given, the static either becomes distorted or might completely go silent while the foreign sounds come through, which I think makes a lot more sense. Like it goes silent and then a sound comes through.
Because that's what a ghost would do.
Well, yeah, if they want your attention. Heck yeah. And there's this guy. He's a neurologist. And his name is Steven Novella. And he explained on a blog, it's like about the brain functions. Like, so how are we interpreting these messages? And he says that the spirit box, like, scans through the stations at a super fast rate. And sometimes that noise or voice will pop out. And that makes it easy for the brain to, like, generate an audio. And he calls it a pareidolia. I hope I'm saying that right.
Wait, is he saying that it's a real ghost, or is he saying that you think you're hearing a ghost?
It's a little bit of both.
Because your brain is going to hear what it wants to hear.
Correct. But he is saying that like audio, so this audio pareidolia is like hearing of words or music that are not actually in the sounds you are hearing.
Okay, so he's like me and he's saying it's not real.
And he says that this can occur by misinterpreting words
that
are being said or by hearing words in random noise.
Yeah, when I took a psychology class in college, that we did this where they played this noise again and again, and it was like wah, 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 wah. And we listened to it for like a good like minute or so, and then at the end of it, everybody had to write down what they heard, and everybody had different answers, but everybody was like completely
had their own.
Right. And then they told you what the word actually was, and then they played it again, and of course everybody heard the actual word that time.
Okay, so back when I was breastfeeding, I had a breast pump, like an automatic or electric one, and it would go vroom, vroom, vroom. I mean, same thing. And that's so funny because I've asked multiple moms, and they all say that their breast pump said something to them.
What did yours say?
I don't remember. It was a while ago. But because you're doing it so often, and it's late at night,
and it's repetitive, and it's the same.
But even like your washing machine, that noise.
Well, okay, so I you guys know I have a weird job, but I was on a tractor for a really, really long time, and at the end of the day, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's playing a song. It's the same song over and over again, and I knew it was because I'm listening to the same repetitive like noise again and again. And then I asked my dad, like, oh yeah, do you ever hear like when the tractor plays songs? And he's like, no.
You're fired.
It's like, you're losing your mind. Maybe you need a drink of water.
Yeah. So what he says, this is a quote from him. It says, there are 2 layers of pattern recognition that are occurring when we have an eager ghost hunter sitting in front of a radio scanner listening for the ghosts. The first layers is hearing words, names, or phrases. Sometimes the words are actual words coming through from a radio station. Sometimes, however, they are just noise that the brain tries to match to a word.
Yep, exactly.
So some people, like, they say that this proof seems convincing at, like, your first glance, and all signs point to these devices being just as reliable as the Ouija boards of the past. So are they communicating with spirits or are they not? Because, just because they're high tech doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to work any better than a piece of cardboard.
And two, okay, when you think of a ghost talking to you from whenever they were around, say you saw a ghost right now.
Okay.
What time period would you imagine it?
1920s.
Exactly. So do those ghosts know how to use your iPhone?
No, but if they're trapped in another dimension or another...
Are they in other dimensions?
I don't know.
I have so many things to learn about ghosts.
I don't really know a whole lot, but I've always been super interested in them.
But then again, there could be a ghost who died a week ago.
Totally.
So maybe that ghost could talk to you through your iPhone.
Well,
the other ghost couldn't.
Yeah.
I don't know. But once you're a ghost, maybe you can access anything.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know.
These are all the questions
we have to find a Casper. So Paranormal Technology Investigations has like a ghost tour company. I'm sorry, they're from East Tennessee and they're called Ghost Tours. Super creative name, right?
Hey, they get right to the point. You know exactly what you're getting.
They give all kinds of different tours. And one of them is where they take customers like on an actual paranormal investigation to a bunch of like select locations.
Ghosty locations.
Haunted. And then during most of the tours, oh, sorry. Wait.
Their page is out of order.
Oh, I used a new printer tonight and it double-sided and it threw me off.
Oh, well, that's good.
No, it's totally saving paper, but I didn't know it could do that. So one of the places that they visit frequently is a cemetery, which, I mean, hello, you're on a ghost hunt tour. You better,
okay, it's creeping me out.
You better visit a cemetery.
Yeah, of course.
And they say that frequently there's a spirit that they come into contact with, and his name is Seth.
Okay.
And I went to, like, they have these copies of the recordings from the spirit boxes on their website. So if you want to go back and listen to them, you can. I was going to try to play it kind of like I did with the whole Hindenburg, but hearing static on a podcast, it would just be too difficult.
I'm sure you could probably just
go and find it and listen to it yourself.
Yeah.
But they say, is Seth here? If so, please say your name. And then you hear Seth. Okay.
That's a pretty good name for static, you know? Seth. It fits right in there.
So during that same tour, it was being conducted by this lady named Kathy Shepard, who's also one of the founders and owners of the company. She asked the spirits if they knew anyone that was on that tour. Like, do you know anyone here? And it goes, Kathy.
Oh.
Okay.
See, that's a little bit harder to hide in static.
And then they asked the spirits, does it bother you that we're here? You hear yes.
Oh, shit. Then why do they keep showing up? That's kind of rude.
And then it says, there are other places we can go. Do you want us to leave? Yes, was the response.
Do they leave? Or do they keep picking at them? What's your favorite color?
If you were a kind of ice cream,
which flavor would you be?
And so I'm going to read you a little story here. And bear with me because it's a little story. But on October 25th, 2012, a young female by the name of Christine and a couple of her friends were very eager to take our ghost hunting tour. We asked if there was any certain reason she was taking our tour or if it was just for entertainment. She told us that she had recently been in a car accident, rolling her car onto its hood. She was injured and trapped inside, unable to free herself from the vehicle. She told us the first person on the scene was a young gentleman by the name of Derek. I'm going to stop the story for a second.
Oh, jeez.
While I was writing and researching, I had this super fun little
Spirit box
on. And I'm going to go back to my history from earlier today. And at 9:04,
when you were researching.
When I was researching, read me what it says.
At 9:04, it says, Derek controls.
Okay, how weird is that?
Oh, that is.
Oh, I got chills. I got chills.
So you were reading about it.
Right.
And it
came on.
So it's like reading over your shoulder. It's reading what you're looking at on the internet.
I don't know how it knew that. Okay, so let me keep going with the story.
Derek is not a common name.
Not at all. And I will say that it's spelled differently. The Derek on my spirit box.
You can't ask too much of a ghost.
Well, they don't know how to spell. Okay. So this young man named Derek freed her by kicking in the back window and helping her out of the car.
It said Derek controls.
When she was out of the vehicle, Derek handed Christine
I don't even believe
jacket.
in ghosts.
Freezing, she put on the jacket and turned around. And as she did, she noticed that this young man who helped her was gone and that it was impossible for him to have gotten out of her sight in just a matter of seconds. Later in the week, she had looked at the inside of the jacket and noticed that it had his name and address on the inside tag.
What?
She decided to drive to the location and not only return his jacket to him, but to also thank him for helping her.
Oh my God.
She arrived at his home and knocked on the door. An older female answered. Christine immediately went into detail, informing this woman how the owner of the jacket, a young male, had helped
been
her.
Dead for 50 years. Oh God, it's going off again.
Just beeped again.
Oh, what did it say?
Overwhelmed.
Yeah, I am.
Christine then described to the lady what Derek looked like. The woman told Christine that she was Derek's mother, but she sadly informed Christine that Derek had been dead for several years now. Oh. She also told Christine that she was sorry, and although Derek did in fact have a jacket identical to the one that she was carrying, there was no way the jacket could possibly belong to Derek. Not only had he been dead for a while, but his jacket had been hanging untouched in his bedroom closet since before his death. When Derek's mother went into his bedroom closet and looked, she found that his jacket was gone.
Wait, okay, did she think she was just like playing a trick on her? That's a pretty messed up trick.
Oh, yeah, I've got your dead son's jacket.
Oh, I'm sorry. Must have been what?
So she looked closer at the jacket that Christine brought back to her, and she realized that it was, in fact, Derek's jacket, and it was also his handwriting on the tag in which he had written several months before his death.
Whoa.
So,
did it say how Derek died?
No.
Probably in a car accident, right?
That's what I assumed. And obviously, it was within driving distance. Like, this girl just hopped in her car and drove the jacket back.
House.
So bizarre. And my stinking spirit box picked up on the name Derek.
That's creepy.
That's the weird part to me.
Well, the fact that it's an app that you can... okay, so when you are programming an application, what code do you put in that makes it accessible to the dead?
I don't know. I don't even know how
apps work. Neither do I. But is there like a special... That's so bizarre.
I don't know.
Okay. I'm the skeptic, but...
I know, and I'm the believer. So the two of us together, it's kind of fun. Okay, so I'm going to talk to you a little bit now about EMFs, a.k.a. EPTs.
Oh, is that the real
EMF?
Okay, yeah. EMF. That's not... Okay.
So
EMF.
They detect electromagnetic fields, EMF.
Okay.
They were designed to locate potentially harmful radiation that was given off by like power lines or household appliances.
Oh, great.
What?
Oh, it just talked to us again.
Beach. Probably because it smells of salt water on me. They
I
measure.
was just calling you a bitch and it came
Just
out wrong.
spelled it wrong. They measure with LED lights that move from green to red depending on their strength. Okay, so mine doesn't do the green to red. Mine just does that red light up.
So it's either a ghost or it's radiation?
Yeah. I mean,
Okay.
I don't know necessarily radiation, but like strong electromagnetic fields.
So it's either a ghost or cancer.
One or the other.
Okay, we're good.
They are also known for detecting ghosts. They are commonly referred to as ghost meters. In case you want to go find one on Amazon, just search ghost meter.
Okay.
And like you wave them around and you scan for readings, and then the lights will change or come up. So it does. They like the reviews on this. It does give off like a lot of false positives. Not like a pregnancy false positive, because you can only get false negatives. FYI, fun fact.
Huh.
You can't get a false positive pregnancy test.
I feel like I've heard that before.
Because there are so many electromagnetic fields that can set it off. So like a cell phone, a computer, a radio, I'm flipping pages.
Having
again.
trouble with your pages again?
Yeah, stresses me out. So, but the EVPs are another thing that ghost hunters will use. So, an EVP, and maybe that's what we were comparing them to.
I think, what I was thinking of. EVP. EVP.
And that is the most like let down of a thing. So all it is like a digital recorder. So you just like have a recording going, kind of like what we're doing right now for that matter. That you just kind of have while you're maybe talking or looking for ghosts. What does
EVP stand for?
I don't know.
Oh, should I look that up?
Will you look that
I'll
up
look it
for
up
me?
while you keep going.
Electro voice. I can't remember. I don't know why I didn't add that. But anyway, so it's like a recording, and then you hear it, play it back, and you can hear the answers from the ghost. So you're talking like, "Is there anyone here?"
And you're.
Oh my!
Oh my God! It's talking to us.
Oh, that was weird. So yeah,
are you listening to our podcast?
It said young.
Would you give us a 5-star review on Amazon? Or wait, no, not Amazon, iTunes.
Will you rate, review, and subscribe?
It's electronic voice phenomenon.
Okay,
is what it stands for.
So yeah, so you talk to it, you ask it a question, and you hopefully play it back and can hear the answers.
Okay, so you won't you won't hear it in real time. You have to go back and listen, and that's when you're going to hear. Oh gosh, it's talking to us again.
Yeah, it's.
What is it saying? What did it say?
Marooned.
Marooned?
5. Maroon 5? Marooned.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so let me keep going through this. So it's, okay, wait, sorry. I lost my spot. Oh my gosh, I'm so distracted by this.
So did you even know what marooned means? Because I didn't, and I just had to Google it right now.
It means like you're stuck all by yourself.
I didn't know that.
Like on a desert island.
That's really scary.
I'm freaking you out.
The ghost is stuck?
Possibly. We'll check through these when we're done.
I learned a new word today.
The more you know.
I just thought maroon was a color.
No, that's not. That's like, yeah. But maroon, duh.
Don't make fun of me. Didn't know that.
Okay. So there's this guy named Frederick Jugerson.
It's a great name.
He has those like 2 little dots over the U on his name. So J-U with those 2 dots.
Okay.
I don't know what those are called, but I would really like a name with those dots.
Okay.
And it was in the late 1950s that he was experimenting with like recording birds in his garden. And then when he played the noises of the birds back, he heard voices on the tape.
Ooh, how creepy.
That he claimed belonged to his dead father and wife.
Oh.
And they were actually calling his name.
What?
Yeah.
And he just wanted to listen to some birds.
Oh, that's all he wanted. And so after like years and years of like starting to record these voices, he published his findings in a book called Radio Contact with the Dead, and that was 1967. And so then a few years later, there was this Latvian psychologist, and his Konstantin Radiv was his name. And then he further built on the first guy's, the Jugerson's technique, and he released another book called The Science of Recording Voices of the Dead in 1971.
Oh.
And so they have a bunch of these transcriptions and messages from these spirits. And one of the voices said, quote, "Here is night, brothers. Here the birds burn."
Oh.
So it's dark.
That's ominous.
Yeah. And then another one said, "Secret reports. It's bad here." Which I'm like, oh my gosh. People are freaked out enough of death. You don't need to be scaring them
But also a weird jumble of word salad that these ghosts have.
True. Very bizarre. But I mean, hello, the spirit box right now that's talking to us, it's giving us
random. Which makes me think that I don't know how real this is. I mean, the Derek thing got to me. I will admit that one was
crazy,
creepy.
Right? Okay, we're going to keep going. So he claimed that the spirits would speak sometimes in multiple languages. Sometimes they would speak backwards. And so this, again, kind of with the spirit box stuff, deciphering the EVP became a matter of shifting through all of the words and the sounds to make something that's more coherent. So, okay, here's another story for you.
Okay. See if you convince me this time.
Okay, watch. Listen. It's well past midnight, and this paranormal team has been summoned to a 19th century brick house in San Diego.
Spooky.
Because some people say that there's a spirit there, and they call this spirit Yankee Jim, and he doesn't want to leave.
And they want him to leave?
Well,
he got the eviction notice?
He keeps having footsteps around and making noises.
A nuisance.
And they just want him gone. And they also have mists that float through the rooms or cold spots. So there's all these things that this Yankee Jim guy keeps happening. And he's feeling this ghost hunter, Schrader. He's feeling his way through the darkness, which I don't really know why they couldn't light it up.
Turn on some lights.
Yeah. But it makes it more fun this way. And he's along with this psychic named Cindy Kazaa. And she whispers to him, "I don't want to be here." And then the Schrader guy, he goes, "If you're trying to influence Cindy, you need to back off." And he says, "You have no power or authority over her." And then all of a sudden, something slams into Schrader, and he's knocked to his knees, someone punched him in the stomach.
But there was nothing there?
And there was nothing
So does that make it a poltergeist?
Because it's angry?
Or because it's able to manipulate and move things? Because I don't think regular ghosts can do that. I think you have to be a poltergeist. Right?
I know poltergeists are more the evil, the more
and they open and shut drawers and that super scary thing when somebody leaves a room and they come back and all of the drawers and cupboards and everything are open.
But remember even the poltergeist movies, I mean, yes, those were bad, but they communicated through static waves.
Right. I'm not saying that they couldn't. I'm just saying that if you have the ability to manipulate and move things, then you're a step up from a ghost, a regular
I don't know.
I feel that's how it goes.
I can see dead people. Okay. So then he goes something just shoved me straight on, and he's that's nuts. And that's nuts. That's from the peanut butter episode. Yeah.
What a strange response, though.
Well, he's on those ghost hunter shows.
Oh, those guys like to piss off ghosts.
Well, and that's what he said. You don't have any power or authority over her. So then right next it happened.
It's watch this, bitch.
But he's been doing this for 13 years, and he has had encounters with some bad ghosts, and good ghosts, and he's visited most like of the world's most haunted places. And he actually, a quote from him that I kind of liked, he said, "The living are much more scary than anything paranormal I've come into contact with."
Well, I can believe that.
Yeah, but I was like, oh, you know,
There's
people are scared of ghosts, but like the living, the
There's some creepos out there,
there's
that's
some
for sure.
bad people. And then just to appease you a little bit, I wasn't going to read this fact, but I'm going to. It says there's an estimated 80% of paranormal disturbances. They're ultimately attributed to things as mundane as
Raccoons.
bad housing construction.
Raccoons. It's always raccoons.
It's always
I'm
the
telling
little
you.
trash bandits. But you know what a lot of ghost hunters or believers say is that what ghosts often want is the same thing that humans want, and it's just acknowledgement that they matter.
And how do you do that to a ghost?
Just say, "I'm here, I'm listening," and see if they want to talk.
And then they say, "Burning birds, night owls," or whatever that.
Those 4 words are. No, you just have to acknowledge, like, "Hey, I know you're here. Like, I'm not here to scare you. Don't scare me." So, they say that actually, like, Ouija boards, for whatever reason, you shouldn't mess with, because
Why?
those are like portals to the afterlife.
Well, isn't that how you talk to ghosts?
I mean, I don't know really how that's any different to any of the other things, but that's what this one expert said.
Okay.
And
I think Ouija boards sound super fun.
have you ever done one?
Yeah, but like I said, I'm always the person who's moving it to spell
You're not
farts.
supposed You're not supposed to do that.
Okay.
You're supposed to just let it go. So here's a little story about a Ouija board. There was a young boy in Cottage City, Maryland, and he lost his aunt. He finds a Ouija board in his house, and he wants to talk to her. So strange things start happening in his house, like there's scratching sounds in the walls.
Raccoons.
Or objects get moved around by
Raccoons.
something. And then the boy becomes possessed by a demon that can only be driven out by a team of exorcists led by a determined priest.
Wait, what?
That's a true story. And
That's
that
very
is
vague.
what the Exorcist movie is actually based on.
No.
Uh-huh.
Really? I thought it was based on a little girl who had like some serious.
She got possessed. And then
This is the girl? I thought you said it was a boy.
it was. The true story is a boy.
No, the true story is a girl.
Well, not according to this article.
Okay, we're gonna have to talk
Because
about this
the
again.
movie is a girl.
Right, but I thought the true story was a girl too.
And then I should have looked all this up, but I forgot. All of the crazy things that happened to people in the Poltergeist movie.
Oh yeah,
Like
that
the
needs an
little
entirely
girl.
different episode.
Yeah. I mean, all that. I mean, if you're not a believer after being involved in that movie.
Well,
So what they're saying that happens with Ouija boards is like you're asking someone or something to enter you, and you're opening yourself.
wait, you're asking someone to wait, say that again.
No, I don't want you. You're gonna make fun of me. You're giving permission.
You're doing what?
I don't want to see it. You're asking someone or something to enter you, and you're opening yourself up to a world of trouble.
Oh my god.
You're asking something or someone
You're gonna say it again?
to use you as a puppet because they're like telling you what to do or how to do it.
Oh my god.
And that's the Ouija boards. Okay.
Oh,
So obviously I'm just giving little tidbits of each
story.
well,
Each tool.
yes, thank you.
Mhm.
That's the word I wanted. And then, so if you do want to communicate with the spirits, because we're starting to, and I think we should continue, you're supposed to ask, like, who's here? And
should
then,
we do that right now?
Well,
or are you going to, okay, I don't want to, are you, is it talking to us?
no, not yet. I mean, it did.
Who's here?
So who's here? And then the best way to do it, like, is if you do a little background research, like maybe on the area, like maybe what happened, so you can kind of develop a relationship with the ghost, like maybe discover like some trigger words.
Flood. There was a huge flood here.
Oh, there was huge
killed
flood. Water.
Bunches of people.
Lots of water. Lots of water. And then you just let them know that you're not going to harm them, and you just want to help them tell their story. And you can ask, like, how did you die? How are you feeling? What do you want us to do? And then it also says, again, be respectful unless you're provoking a bad spirit by, like, chastising them for something bad that they did.
Oh, then you're allowed to use profanities and...
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And tell them to get out. But otherwise,
learn
nice. To live in harmony with them.
Have a Casper friend.
I think it'd be cool.
Yeah.
But I've always been into ghost spooky stuff.
I like it, but I just don't. I mean, it's a cool story, you know. I'm just not.
Cool story, bro.
Cool story, bro. Yeah, you know.
But you did. More than once, you saw the...
Right, but I will say that every time you're... What's that thing called again?
Spirit box?
No, the one in your hand.
Electromagnetic field?
EMF. Every time that did a thing is after your phone did a thing. So I'm wondering if your phone is just giving off some sort of electric frequency, whatever, and it's reacting to your phone doing a thing. You know what I mean?
Maybe we should have moved this farther apart.
Yeah, I wonder... Did it just insult me?
It said incompetent.
Oh, this is creepy. It's calling me incompetent?
That's what it just said. I didn't make it do it. It's just sitting here.
Oh, but okay, ghost. I'm asking constructive questions, okay? That's creepy. I don't like it. Especially don't like when it insults me like that. But yeah, I mean... It's interesting. The Derek thing is definitely very interesting. That would have freaked me out. Did it freak you out when it happened? Or were you like, ooh, this is cool?
I was so on board.
Really?
I was like, yes. Talk to me more.
See, maybe that's why I'm a skeptic, because I think it's creepy.
Well, I think it's creepy and it's scary, but I like to be scared.
Yeah.
So that's the end of my tools. I know they're not really like stories.
No,
because it was like...
The topic was all about the instruments and tools and stuff. That's super interesting.
Do you have an along the way for me?
I do.
Which is a new concept as well, because we're like figuring out how to do this one story, but Angela's doing the along the way.
Right. And I'm not really researching this entire story, but I'm kind of like doing a little Googling.
Because I didn't even tell her. Yeah, I didn't even tell her what I was doing my story about. I mean, she knew it was about.
Yeah. We know the topic that was pulled, but
that was
about as far as it goes. And I have it here on my phone, and I thought like, oh, okay. I wonder what sort of stuff has shown up in the news regarding like this specific topic. Like, you know, just see what's happening. Because a lot of this stuff, especially like the Ouija board, is super old. I'm actually surprised that the spirit box only goes back to, 2002?
Well, the electric kind of. I mean, I watched I was going to say this too. I watched a movie on the Sci-Fi Channel about.
I'm shocked you went on that channel.
Oh, I didn't. I YouTubed it.
Okay.
And I should have looked what year it was made. But it was about these two girls that are supposed to be in high school, and one of the girls' mom is dead, and they want to communicate with the dead, so they make what they call a spirit box, but is actually like a Ouija board out of like pieces of cut up magazine, like letters and stuff. And one of the stars is stinking Anna Kendrick.
Oh, weird.
And I'm like,
how old was she in it?
Like 42, because she was like, I mean, not really 42, but like way older looking than a high school student. It was kind of silly.
Oh, that's funny.
But I totally instantly recognized her. She's so cute. But I actually watched the whole movie. It was
Oh, was that
pretty.
good?
It was like a made-for-TV one, so it was super fast. But it could have gone a lot. Like, it could have been made into a full-length movie.
Uh-oh.
So,
It just talked us again.
Raspy. Because I need to clear my throat.
Oh, that's so weird. Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay. So like I said, I just pulled up a news story, and this is what came up. Mountain House man arrested for stabbing incident in Little Rock during paranormal hunting trip.
Yay.
And this was just recently. It was June 11th, 2020. And this is from a local station. Looks like a local radio station, which is KTLO, which apparently...
KTLO.
Little Rock. Okay. A mountain man... Oh, sorry.
A mountain man?
A mountain home, which I guess is like an area over there. I don't know. A mountain home man was reportedly paranormal hunting in Little Rock, has been arrested after he had allegedly stabbed another man. 31-year-old Mark Anthony Galloway was arrested following an incident shortly after 2 on Tuesday morning. According to information from the Arkansas Democrat-Gazette, Little Rock police responded to a roadway. There's Rosa's alarm.
Sorry, that was not a spirit talking to us.
Roadway Inn and Suites on West 65th Street for a report of a person being stabbed. When they arrived, they found victim 30-year-old James Patterson bleeding heavily. Why am I laughing at that? Bleeding heavily from a stab wound to the torso, oh no, and leg. A female told police Patterson and Galloway began arguing when she and Patterson wanted to leave the cemetery where they were paranormal hunting.
Oh, wow.
So maybe they got scared. They wanted to be out of there. And he's like, no.
You stay.
They got into the vehicle and started driving away with Galloway behind the wheel. The woman told police they did not want him to drive. And when Patterson tried to get control of the vehicle, Galloway started stabbing him.
Oh, my gosh.
That's a rational
Yikes.
way to handle that. Both Patterson and Galloway were taken to UAMS, probably their local hospital, for treatment of injuries. Galloway has been charged with a felony count of first-degree battery. He's also has a hold for a parole violation. His bond is set for $100,000. Maybe he was possessed. Maybe they took a Ouija board out to the cemetery
and opened up something that they
Something
weren't
stabby.
ready for. Something majorly stabby.
Yeah. So that's my story. Little local news story from Little Rock about paranormal investigating.
Yeah.
Gone wrong.
Dun, dun, dun.
That could be a whole podcast on its own.
Fun. We should add it to the box.
Yeah. So, you better be careful for, who knows? Maybe Derek is going to take control of your body. It would be nice to be able to summon Derek anytime you need a jacket, though. It's like getting cold.
I get cold pretty easily.
Yeah.
I would totally wear a dead person's jacket. I think I own a dead person's jacket, actually.
Probably. I go thrifting quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
do you want to pick a topic for next week?
Yeah, I'm going to pick a topic since I'm doing the story next week, but maybe do we want to go over everything our spirit box has said to us?
Yeah.
All their critiques about me being incompetent?
So I'm going to push the little history button here. So the first one it gave us, okay, there it is. I was looking because it has the timestamps. So it was pants.
Okay.
Then inventive. Then fractured bone.
Wait, what?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is the thing. We didn't hear all of them because I was talking, probably. Right. Then overwhelmed. Then
oh, geez.
Beach. Then young, marooned, learns, canoe.
Oh.
Incompetent and raspy.
Okay. So maybe when the flood came, they tried to get into a canoe and fractured some bones. And
they were young.
They were young and marooned, apparently.
Or are marooned.
Or are marooned now. I just feel like the other stuff was critiques on us personally.
Incompetent?
Yes.
Raspy?
Yes.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Well,
kind of fun, huh?
That's quite the collection of
words.
All right.
So for next week, can you reach it? Do you need me to hand it to you?
Next week, my topic, the story that I'm going to tell you, is going to be on strange disappearances.
Oh, that'll be fun.
Ooh.
You can, I mean, it's kind of nice. Whoa.
Did it just call us dumb?
No, it said
Wait, what did it say?
breakbone.
Wait,
Like all one word.
breakbone?
Oh, geez. Girlfriend detects. Starting to go crazy all of a
Wait,
sudden.
girlfriend what?
Detects? Like I detect that
I feel like it's threatening us a lot.
What? Why?
Because it keeps wanting to break our bones.
What's girlfriend detects?
Girlfriend detects? I don't know. I don't know what any of
That was crazy that two
What does that mean?
Ghost, what do you mean by girlfriend detects? Tell us something else.
Who are you? What's your name? What's your favorite ice cream flavor?
What's your favorite color?
Is any part of you afraid that you just opened a portal to hell?
No.
Okay.
I liked ghosts. I don't know if anyone else has more suggestions. Like
Oh.
tonight's topic was a suggestion from a listener.
It was, yeah. So if you have a suggestion, hit us up on Instagram, RipplePod.
Facebook, RipplePod with Rosa and Angela. And we do have an email address now.
Oh, what is it?
I don't remember.
Well, that's helpful.
I'll put the info on Instagram. I keep meaning to
we'll just put
update
it
that.
there.
But we'd love it if you'd share this podcast with anyone else that you think might want to give it a listen.
Yeah, and if you've had any paranormal communication experiences, send us a message and we could talk about it.
Have you ever had one?
Yeah, but it didn't make any sense. So, and I've told this story to like multiple people and they're like, wait, that it doesn't really track. So this was maybe, I don't know, maybe about 10 years ago. I was hanging out with one of my friends and we were walking around like this orchard area.
Wait, and at home at mom and dad's?
Yeah. And so we were walking around the ranch.
Okay.
My friend Alex, you've met him.
Yeah.
We're hanging out, whatever, walking around. And this plane that's like flying super, super, super low is like circling around. And then finally like it lands. Like they attempt to do like an emergency landing sort of situation.
Okay.
It did not go well.
Right.
The
I
plane
remember.
burns. You know this whole story.
I know the story.
There was multiple casualties. Not everyone in the plane was killed though.
Right.
There were some people who survived.
And animals.
There's 2 dogs that were in the plane too that got out and were running around. And so I want to say maybe like a week goes by. And I'm at the time going to college, community college, and I'm driving home super late from a lab. And
I know this story.
Okay, yeah, you know where I'm going with
finally
this.
hit me what story this was. Okay,
Yeah,
keep going. This is such a good one.
I'm driving home. I was a chemistry lab. It got Spirit Box is talking. What did it say?
Hollow.
Oh, okay.
Keep going.
Okay, so I'm driving home, and it's probably about like 10 o'clock at night. Lab got out late. It's dark outside, obviously. It's a very like rural road where there's hardly any traffic ever. Definitely not that time of day. And I drive.
No street lights.
No street lights.
Mm-hmm. It's just a dark rural road.
Yeah, it's just a dark road. The only lights that are out there are my headlights. And I drive past the crash site, and I see this family. And they're all standing together like they're about to take like a family portrait, like all shoulder to shoulder, arms around each other. And they're like, oh, it talked to me again. What did it say?
Holy shit. Oh, I can't read. Sorry. I got really excited for a second, but it says something I thought. It says hidden cache. I thought it said hidden crash.
Oh, well, neither of those things were hidden.
Yeah.
So they're all standing shoulder to shoulder, and they're like illuminated. And it was like a mom, a dad, a couple kids. And it's like so bizarre. Like there's no house out there. There's no reason for anybody to be standing out there, and definitely not people to be glowing and standing out there. And they're all just smiling like they're going to take a family portrait, and they're waving. And I was so freaked out. I've never run into the house faster before in my life, and I have no explanation for that at all.
Do you wish now that you would have turned around and looked closer?
Kind of.
To see what
Just
it
to
was.
see what it was. But at the same time, no, because it was terrifying.
Yeah.
It was so scary. Like, I wasn't, like, it wasn't like something where, like, I put it back later to, like, oh my gosh, those people weren't real. Like, that couldn't have been, because there's, like, why would there be on a weeknight in the middle of nowhere, this family
coming home
standing
late
together,
at night,
all facing the road, all waving.
Oh my
but
gosh.
the reason that it doesn't make sense is because this crash didn't kill everyone. So why would there be a whole family right there? You know, if they were all ghosts.
Mm-hmm.
What did it say?
Mary.
They're happy. I'm going to take that as they're happy.
Yeah, it's possible.
Or wait, was it Mary, like the name?
E-R-R.
Okay. So I know you've had experiences.
I have, and again at Mom and Dad's house, and so has Nick. And Nick is the biggest like skeptic ever. And
like, show me the data.
Exact, prove it to me. But again, late at night, coming home to Mom and Dad's, I heard a female voice, like clear as day, say, "I missed you." And I was like, what? First of all, my mom would never tell me that, so I know that's not her. And I same thing. Got scared and ran in the house as quickly as I could.
Like, that's gonna protect you.
No, I know.
But, you know.
And then same thing, Nick at Mom and Dad's house, dropping me off late one night when we were dating. He heard a female voice say, "Where have you been?" And he actually thought it was like me or Mom or you or something. So he turned around like to go look to see, like, okay, who's out here? And there was no one
there. What time of day was it for each one of these? Do you remember?
Night, late.
It was,
like, I was coming home like after being out at night.
Oh, that's so creepy. Like, and I feel like it's well, I don't know what's creepier, because the voice thing, like, you can't, like, once it's said.
Dentist.
What?
Dentist. You need to go to the dentist.
I think the pilot was a dentist.
Shut up. Are you freaking kidding me?
I'm not kidding you. I think the pilot in the plane crash was a dentist.
You need to look that up.
I don't even know how.
I know we'll update the listeners. Oh, for real?
I'm serious.
Okay, we're gonna look it up. We'll do an update.
I don't. Oh, this is creeping me out.
I love it. Okay. Well,
send us your stories.
Yeah, we would love to hear your stories.
Yeah, we'll read them on the podcast if you want.
Oh yeah, we'll do some listener
Oh
stories.
yeah, we could do like a little bonus episode. Speaking of bonus episode,
yes.
did ours get lost?
Nope. It got released today.
Oh, did it?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Yeah, we were a little bit behind on our bonus episode for our book club. I think we just had some technical difficulties, but we'll have
It released today though.
Okay, good.
So this normal, like our normal podcast, Ripple Pod, comes out every Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
Our book club one has been like sometimes
Sporadic.
a Monday, sometimes a Tuesday. Whenever
Don't be sporadic.
Rosa remembers to hit post. So
Do you get my reference?
don't be sporadic.
I hope it's not sporadic.
Oh, Clueless.
Yeah, I love that movie. Okay.
All right.
Anything else? We're
That's
good?
it.
Okay.
So we will talk with you all next week. And until then, don't forget to be a fountain.
And not a drain.
Bye.
Bye.